I have been tempted to switch systems many times. There's so many amazing camera releases recently. However, a recent shoot reminded me of why I still love Micro Four Thirds system. In this video, I want to talk about the reasons why I'm still using Micro Four Thirds system in the year 2026. Let's do this! Recently, I did a shoot for Kuala Lumpur Performing Arts Center. In that job, it was particularly challenging. It was extreme low light condition because sometimes they turn off all the lights. It was a nightmare for any camera system to handle, even if you are using full frame. And here I was using Micro Four Thirds system, and I delivered my shots. I was using my Olympus E-M1 Mark II together with some prime lenses from Panasonic and Olympus. And I'm going to talk about why Micro Four Thirds system is actually more suitable in this particular shoot. And of course, before we do that, let's take a look at some photographs I've taken from that shoot. Reason number one, why I prefer to use Micro Four Thirds for my job is the small prime lenses. I brought along 5 prime lenses for this particular shoot for Kuala Lumpur Performing Arts Center. I brought along the Panasonic 9 f1.7, Panasonic 15 f1.7, Olympus 25 f1.8, Olympus 45 f1.8, and Olympus 75 f1.8. All these lenses, they're sufficient for me to cover everything that I need to do in that job. And there are some advantages using these prime lenses as well. They have bright aperture f1.7 or f1.8, allowing me to gather more light using lower ISO numbers in low light situations, giving me cleaner results. Also, these lenses are so small, so compact, I can fit all of them together with this E-M1 Mark II in a small camera bag and run around easily. I can move around quicker, I'm more agile, and that allows me to do a lot more, giving more shots to my client. And you know what? All this fitted into the bag, 5 lenses and 1 camera, it weighs less than 1.5 kilograms. Do that with any other camera systems, I guarantee you it'll be at least double or triple the weight. And having such a small bag, it is just so easier, right? Rather than carrying a large backpack or a large shoulder bag with anything heavy in there, they will break my bag. So definitely I treasure the small and lightweight system with Micro Four Thirds. It's just unmatchable. Reason number 2, powerful 5-axis image stabilization. I acknowledge that this feature is not unique to Micro Four Thirds. Any newer cameras from other manufacturers, they also have powerful stabilization built into their cameras. However, this Olympus E-M1 Mark II from 8 years ago, the 5-axis image stabilization built into this camera is still freaking incredible today. In situations where I don't care about movement or with very little movement, I can deliberately slow down my shutter speeds without worrying about handshake or camera blur. And I can lower down my ISO numbers so that I can get cleaner results. For example, this particular image, it was shot with the 75 f1.8. Instead of using ISO 6400 or 12800, I was using ISO 1250 because I slowed down the shutter speed to 1/25 of a second. If you look at the image, it is still tack sharp. I cannot do this without a powerful 5-axis image stabilization built into this camera. There are other situations as well where I don't really care about movement. Even if it's very, very, very dark, I just use use ISO 200 or 400, and I don't care because the shutter speeds will go down like half a second, 1 second, 2 seconds. With wide angle shot, the 5-axis image stabilization will still steady the shot and get the awesome image. I just cannot live without 5-axis image stabilization. It just changes the way I take my photographs. It just boosts my confidence in nailing the shots, and I get better shots with it than without the 5-axis image stabilization. Reason number 3, why I love using Micro Four Thirds for my jobs is this one specific lens, the Olympus 75 f1.8. There's just no other lens like this from other camera manufacturers out there. I've actually talked about this before. I talked about why this Olympus 75 f1.8, how it prevented me from going full frame. It's just this one lens, this one reason, right? I'll put the link to the video up here. Please check it out if you have not done so. If I were to find something equivalent in terms of focal length and still want a prime lens, probably I have to go to 135mm f1.8, whether it's from Canon, Nikon or Sony. And have you looked at those lenses? When I look at them, the first time I tried them, I was like, oh my goodness, it is so large. It is so much larger and heavier compared to this 75 f1.8 Olympus. And some will say, but you can get away with the telephoto lens as well, right? 70-200, f2.8, full frame f2.8, and Micro Four Thirds f1.8, f2.8 is still better in terms of equivalence, blah, blah, blah. But look at the size of the 70-200 f2.8. Even the 70-200 f4 is still freaking large compared to this tiny 75 f1.8. Some will argue equivalence and that, but size is size, large is large, heavy is heavy, and I'm not willing to sacrifice this tiny compact size of the 75 f1.8. It still gives me an equivalent of 150mm reach. In terms of reach, there's not wrong. No matter how you want to argue about equivalence, I still get 150mm from this lens. And anyone who has used this lens before would testify that it is incredibly sharp, the bokeh is beautiful, the lens renders such amazing quality that it's one of the best Micro Four Thirds lenses out there. And for me to use this for my jobs, there's just no substitute out there. Reason number 4, easier and quicker handling. I can handle Micro Four Thirds cameras and lenses a lot more effectively because they are so small, and I specifically chose small prime lenses for this particular reason. Not only they are so small and so light, I can use a smaller camera bag, which I've already mentioned in reason number 1. Because these lenses are so small, I can change lenses very quickly without slowing me down or causing me to miss shots. I can't say the same for larger lenses with much larger diameters. I may need like a table nearby or a larger bag, or put the camera down the lens somewhere to change lens. And I can work with 5 different lenses. I switch lenses like nobody's business. I can do them very, very quickly without worrying about, oh, that thing's gonna come, oh, I need to be there. I can just switch lenses like that and get my shots. That's only possible when the lenses are really, really incredibly tiny, like these prime lenses from Micro Four Thirds. And finally, reason number 5, sufficiency. I know, physics is physics. I'm not going to deny the fact that full frame will definitely have advantages when it comes to image quality. Larger sensor will gather more light, you get 2 stops minimum better dynamic range and high ISO compared to the smaller sensor in the Micro Four Thirds system. Nobody's trying to counter that argument, but I would like to say something different. This Micro Four Thirds system, it may seem inferior, but to me, it is more than sufficient for me to get the shots that I can deliver them to my clients with no issue. I'm perfectly happy and satisfied with the image quality coming out from my Micro Four Thirds system, specifically this Olympus E-M1 Mark II. The dynamic range, the high ISO performance, they are still perfectly usable. I have never complained about situations where dynamic range is not sufficient. Even in very dim situations, I've demonstrated in this video. I've shown so many examples, so many images taken in such dimly lit situations, some even when they turn off all the lights, and still I get away with very good results, very clean images from this E-M1 Mark II. I'd rather have this Micro Four Thirds sensor with some compromises. Yes, it's not as good as full frame, overall in terms of ultimate image quality, but I get other advantages as well. It is smaller, it is lighter, it is easier to manage. I'm more efficient using this system. I can move around quickly, I can get more shots. I don't have to worry about breaking my neck or my back or injure myself in long run. Trust me, I have a lot of friends handling full frame cameras over the years and they suffer a lot of back pain, neck pain, all kinds of injuries, even slick discs. I'm not joking. Or some tennis elbow or wrist problems. They all have all these kind of problems, and I can counter that and prevent myself from getting all these physical injuries by using smaller system like this Micro Four Thirds, and yet I get sufficient image quality. That's all I have to share about why I still use Micro Four Thirds system in the year 2026. I hope you found my sharing beneficial. If you've enjoyed looking at my photographs, please consider buying me a cup of coffee, or you can contribute directly to my PayPal. Links in the description below on how you can do that. Any small contribution will definitely go a long way and help me to continue making more content. Surely more Micro Four Thirds content. Until the next one, please go out and take more photographs. Bye-bye!